Well, well, well. Here I am, unmuting Discord this time. I remembered.
We're very proud of you.
There we go. We got speech.
Here you go again on your own.
Here we go
Going
again.
down the only path you've ever known.
Down this lonely road, the only one that I have ever known. I don't know where it goes, but it's home to me. Oh, Green Day. Yeah, the only Green Day I ever listened to.
Songs.
Yeah, you're doing a different song. I'm doing another different song. I'm talking about Boulevard of Broken Dreams, which the only time I've listened to it was when I think I was a teenager, and it was on a Halo video. So.
Oh dear, of course. The Halo fanatic.
I'm not a fanatic. It's just a game I played in my youth, and now I have nostalgia for it.
If you've ever referred to anyone as a Halo heretic, you are a Halo fanatic. Maybe zealot is a better term. How's that? You're a Halo zealot.
No, it's never a bad word for anything.
No, it's perfectly good to be a zealot. Anyway, the first episode today is going to be His Way, where we get Vic Fontaine. I mean, there's also Odo getting a girlfriend, but who cares? It's Vic Fontaine. That's the part we want. The Reckoning with some angels and demons stuff, and it's weird. And Valiant, where you hate everybody.
Well, that's every day, so, whatever.
Well, that's not healthy. Maybe we should go listen to some Green Day. Wait, are they the same people who did the Wake Me Up When September Ends? Is that also Green Day?
Yes.
Okay.
Green Day.
I've listened to 2 songs of theirs.
Yeah, that song is whenever we hit the end of that month, that song pops up in memes, and then people always have to remind everyone that it's actually about his dead father, so it's kind of not funny.
It's not about It's not about summer and school.
No, I mean it's a metaphor, I guess, but yeah.
Well, that's actually for literal. His father died in September, so he
Yeah,
doesn't
there you
like
go.
September.
I mean, his dad's not gonna
That's
get
actually
up in
a pretty simple
October.
premise. Yeah. Well, but still, people are get like that about the time of year someone died.
On that down note, Vic Fontaine, everybody.
Yeah, Vic Fontaine, we're gonna get some Frank Sinatra. Frank
We're
Sinatra
gonna do it
songs.
his way.
James Darren, right on.
James Darren's pretty cool. I like James Darren. I don't remember all the specifics, but I heard that in the interview, or not the interview, his audition was basically him just walking in and being James Darren. He walked in and he just started talking to producers, and they're like, "Yep, you're hired."
Yeah,
Hey,
like
is
he came in
this
and
the
just
place
was
for the show?
trained.
Hey.
Exactly. Yeah, he was really tight with the Sinatra family too, so he's definitely of that world.
Does he make any of his own songs, or is it only Frank Sinatra covers?
It should just have him as himself in the credits. Just
Yeah, I think it's just standards. Every album I've seen of his is just like, yeah, these old classic kind of Sinatra-like standards.
Yeah.
He's really known more as an actor. I was watching this movie on Noir Alley a few weeks ago, and called The Brothers Rico, and and I'm looking at the youngest brother, and I'm like, is that Vic Fontaine? And yeah, it was like an early James Darren role.
Was he a hologram?
No. Although I didn't watch the ending, so maybe it was at the end. I'm not sure.
And we're eventually going to get the real confusing bit where Vic Fontaine is not a hologram for one episode. And it's
Yeah, that
never
doesn't make
explained. Don't worry.
sense.
It's one of those things that's clearly there just to be funny. Don't worry about it.
Mirror universe is just don't think about it too
Yeah,
much.
don't at all, really.
Very much so.
Yeah. Just
Don't
watch
worry about it.
watch the actors do crazy stuff, and
Yes.
that's about it.
No, Vic Fontaine's. Some people I've seen say they hate Vic Fontaine, and those people I assume are just terrible in real life, and they're just the worst to be around. Because Vic
That's sad.
Fontaine's great.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume if I went to Vic's lounge myself, I might get annoyed pretty quick with his sick. What even era is he supposed to be from?
It's like just post-prohibition. It's like
Yeah,
What would
40s,
that be?
50s.
All right, hang on. We're about to press play. Everybody queued up to His Way, and press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play.
Go.
Go.
I would say it's got to be before 50s. Is it
There he is.
pre-World War II or post-World
Oh
War
wow,
II?
we're right
Oh,
into
definitely
it.
post.
Post.
Yeah, like 40s bleeding into the 50s. I think it's probably what you're looking at there.
Well, I guess it's the. When did they build
All
Las
right,
Vegas?
I looked it up. 1961.
Wow, way later.
Oh wow, that's later. Yeah.
I mean, that was the era of this this style.
Really right on the end of the style.
Yeah, the quote unquote 60s hadn't hit full force quite yet with the Beatles and everything.
See, I'd like to have like remember the nightclub at the beginning of Temple of Doom?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I would like a nightclub like that, kind of that type of.
I mean, presumably
that would
without
be
all
the-
the fighting, but yeah.
Yeah, that
Vic
would be
Fontaine
like
is
the
saying-
30s, I think.
Everybody here who's single is totally worthless. What? That's kind of a mean song. You're nobody unless you've got somebody. Come on, Vic.
Yeah, some of
Right.
these old songs, if you really listen to the lyrics, the messages aren't great.
It's a bit thematically relevant to the episode,
Why-
though.
Yes. But why can't you just be happy being yourself? Why do you need validation from others, Vic?
External
Different
validation
time.
is all that matters.
Of course, he prefers Klingon opera.
We've imbued him with sentience. Ha 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 ha!
We're such cards.
Aren't we just the biggest
And
scamps?
because this is not TNG, we're not going to go into the moral implications of creating this hologram. We're just
Oh
gonna
God, no! Creating
enjoy
life?
watching him.
No.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
You're literally creating a singing slave.
But he's a singing slave who likes being a singing slave.
Yeah, it's all about the tone
Because he was
that the
programmed
character
to be a
has.
singing slave.
He doesn't
He is
treat it as a
programmed to like
prison. He just kind of thinks the whole thing is silly more than anything.
Well,
Is it really slavery if he's into it?
These are
Also, at
big
this point, it's not
questions.
totally clear that he is alive. I don't know. Star Trek is weird with AI. Wait, Vic Fontaine, he gets his own life eventually. He gets his hall suite turned on 24/7, 26/7, excuse me. So,
well, in Next Generation, it's kind of implied early on that the Enterprise computer is an AI to an extent, and self-aware to an extent, and
well, my question
yeah.
is,
it's a slave.
in 20 years, are they just gonna kill Vic Fontaine when AI are illegal? What happens to Vic?
They just the Starfleet intelligence shows up and just erases
Shuts
him.
him down. We can't have any jazz singer rebellions on our hands.
Well, I don't know if they would. Do they have? They wouldn't even have jurisdiction necessarily because by the
Yeah,
end of
this isn't the
DS9,
Federation station.
Bajor
Except-
is not in the Federation.
Actually, is it in the Federation in 20 years? It's not in the Federation now.
That's
We have to
something that we
check.
don't know the answer to.
Well, I just imagine
Well,
he'd have something like witty or impactful to say, like my last cry before my eternal silence, and then they shut him off.
but if he's in the Holo, the Holo Suite's there, is he owned by Quark? Quark's an independent contractor.
I thought he was like owned by whoever brought the program, and they're just
But
renting
they
the
can-
time on the equipment. So it's
They
would be
can probably
Julian's.
do that thing though that like 4 different Voyager species do, where they say, no, you're not allowed to have holograms within our space.
Yeah, or just
regardless
like
of what you're using them for.
sell them to somebody, where it wouldn't be under that jurisdiction. I mean, there's ways around it.
Yeah, did they kill Vic Fontaine? Did they kill the Doctor? What happened?
I missed Miles. I know it's only been a week, but I missed Miles.
Everybody loves Miles. Advice from a light bulb, that's racist. Can't call him that.
Yeah, column. You can't say that.
Don't call him that. What's up with that?
Oh,
You meanie.
Okay.
You meanie. Don't call him that.
Aren't you glad we're here, Ryan?
We're just a step above Mark Twain impressions at this point.
A starship.
Stop.
A hologram.
I'll have to meet with Miss Guidon.
A hologram.
A light bulb.
Is that like one of those telegrams?
Wait. While Mark Twain was on the Enterprise, did he go talk to old Guinan?
Great question. No.
Not on screen.
should
He
have.
should have. Yeah, that would have been awesome.
I mean, he already knew at that point that she was an alien.
Miss
So I guess
Guinan, what are
he
you
can.
doing here? I just saw you back on Earth.
Yeah, things
Slightly,
are. Don't worry about
slightly
that.
off topic, but I don't get how my cat knows that I want to clip her nails. She suddenly starts
She can
running
smell
away.
it. Well, at least she still has nails. It's very important.
True. My parents always clip them.
So, the cat scratching pose. If they scratch that enough, do they still need clipped, or does that wear them down naturally?
It slows it down, but you do still need to give them the spa treatment every couple weeks or so.
Okay.
Especially the back claws, because they can't use it. So
I don't even clip my nails that often. Cats are really getting the spa treatment.
What? I gotta clip them like once a week.
I guess mine
Otherwise
just
I
grows
have
slower than yours.
Freddy Krueger nails.
Why do your nails grow so freakishly fast?
I don't know.
Just ask her out, Odo. Just talk to her. You could send her a text, maybe. Actually, I guess if he wanted to send her a text, he'd have to type it into a pad and hand it to her.
Jesus.
Can
Which
they
is...
just
That feels like passing a note in class asking, "Do you like me?" Check yes or no. So maybe don't do that. But just talk
I
to her.
rewatched this fairly recently, and I'm having the same question, which is, we like these characters, so like we do care about this storyline for sure. But there's so many bigger things happening right now that this feels. I care, but it's a little flimsy for me.
Okay.
I don't know how anyone else feels, but that's kind of where I'm at on this. But I like Vic, so I love the episode.
I kind of think that in the modern incarnations of Star Trek, where it is like season-long arc and that's it, we don't have a lot of room for episodes like this, and I kind of feel like I missed that.
we
So
need
yeah,
a little
that's a
I'm
good
diversion.
fine
point.
with this.
That's a really good point,
Yeah.
actually.
We need more
I
of the
feel this-
baseball episodes.
Yeah. I really don't get those. It makes me sad.
Yeah, it gives some levity to it, I guess. To me, it just always feels like it kind of stymies the momentum a little bit, just in terms of like where I'm at mentally.
I don't know. Star Trek's always had stuff like this. I'd say it's worse off not having these sort of sidetracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you consider the alternative.
Wait, the next 3 days, what is he offering, Bashir? That can't just be alcohol. Wait, all the holosuites? I know he's covering for Odo here because Odo's in a holosuite, but
It's because he's using the program.
Oh,
Can't have two
okay.
instances of Vic Fontaine running at one time.
Right.
Yeah.
VicFontaine.exe is already running. Please close the original instance before launching another.
Why can't we launch 2 instances of VicFontaine.exe?
Yeah, I want my own version of Vic's place there.
Why
You have
do
to
programs
upgrade
got to
you
do
have to
that to
upgrade
me?
the
Why can't I
VicFontaine
run?
Pro for $19.99 a month to get multiple instances of VicFontaine.
Why can't I just run multiple instances of any program? Why they gotta limit it like that?
And
I
is
mean,
there a
for-
torrent I can get? Can I get a torrent of Vic? How does that work?
You get a ROM hack?
Specifically for Vic,
A
the
ROM
problem would be
hack.
specifically for Vic,
entendre.
the problem would be that you would have to like merge their memories, and that would be a
Well, it
problem.
would just be happening simultaneously. He would just be aware of both things at the same time. It would be it's within their capability. It's just they don't want to go that route.
Why does he call her Major Kira? Yes, you do have to connect the dots, Vic. He's completely oblivious. Odo, what if, hypothetically, and this is sort of a shot in the dark, what if you just went up to her and talked to her?
What?
No, you can't do that. That's
Madness.
what? That's no.
What if you just told her how you feel?
No. What? It just I can't even wrap my head around it. No.
No,
What?
it's impossible.
Clearly,
No,
this
that's
elaborate holodeck training montage is the appropriate
Yes.
way.
Learning to play the piano, that's a much better option here.
Yes.
I mean, that's how I met my husband.
Wait,
I
he
never
doesn't learn
came up
how to
and
play
talked
the
to him.
piano.
Pretending
Sorry,
to
go
learn
ahead.
how to play the piano. That's
Yes,
the option
he pretends to play the piano. Come on, Nick of the North.
I think we've already had dating tip number something, just talk to them. But it's worth repeating. Honestly, I have no idea what number we're on. I'm not even going to try.
Like 36, something like that.
That sounds right.
A big number.
Dating tip 99, just talk to them.
Let's have fun.
Just talk to them like they're a human. Well, she's not a human being, to be fair. And
Yeah.
neither is he. Yeah, just talk to her like another person. Sure you do. I bet Renee can sing.
He can. He's a wonderful singer, actually.
So that line is like Captain Picard saying, "No, no, I'm not much of an actor."
Yeah.
Odo, why are you surprised? This is the holodeck. You know how this works. Holosuite, excuse me. That's somehow different.
It has an NC-17 rating.
Does he know how it works? I don't know that he spends a whole lot of time in the holo suites.
But he's aware of it. He's been
Yeah,
in it before.
conceptually.
He might still be surprised. Like,
And
you can get surprised by perfectly normal things in real life.
he's also shocked by self-playing piano technology. Yeah, Odo, you're not going to impress anyone just pretending to play piano.
I mean, those two
Didn't
women
bother
there
needing his
are
double
pretty
there.
impressed, but that's about it.
If one of the founders knows how to play piano, could he assimilate that by merging with them, by linking?
Probably. Somebody's really quiet.
Yeah, Deutschland, you sounded great before, but now you're suddenly like 3 miles away.
Is that better?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, my mic slipped out. I was just saying, I would love to see like the lounge bands at the end of season 7 with the founders. once he
Like-
rejoins the link.
All the founders are really into club music.
Now they are.
Absolutely.
They're invading the Federation again to get their hands on Frank Sinatra songs.
Mhm.
How much of this episode, I'm going to guess 20% of this episode, is going to be singing? It's
Well,
just
we can
Vic
go minute by
Fontaine
minute.
covering
It's a
Frank
lot.
Sinatra songs.
And then the really long date scene, which is like, I mean, it's a horrible plan. I love Vic, but this is such a stupid idea. And then, of course, it all blows up in his face.
Ish.
I mean, it works out in the end.
Ish. But it's like that is such a long scene. You'll notice when we get to it, like it's just those two for a really long time, and it's a good scene. But it's just like, man, oh man, like you could have condensed that
Are you talking about the date with fake Kira or real Kira?
with real Kira at
Real
the end.
Kira.
It's almost like it's an actual date.
Wow.
Well, it's longer than
Where
some
it's
of my
long and
Tinder
annoying.
dates.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's really creepy to create a holographic representation of the person you want to date and going out with them.
Yeah, no one would ever do that.
Looking at
Well.
you, Jordy.
There's one guy I know. He doesn't see a problem with it. Ha ha.
Boo.
Mm.
Just make sure they don't show up and are completely different personality-wise.
And married.
Yep.
It's always that 1% variance. I'll tell you, every time.
Right. That 1%, that's the one that'll get you.
I've got to imagine
Mhm.
there's a lot of variance with fake Kira, because she was originally Colonel Kamadanov. Totally different person. He just looks like Kira. Oh no, you didn't do anything. Don't look impressed with yourself.
He likes the attention, you know.
From all these fake people.
Oh.
Yeah. It's
He
like
would
being
be a
on
really
social
good
media.
piano player, though. He could play any piano key at once. I mean, that's not how you should play piano, but hypothetically, he doesn't have to move his hands. He can have a finger over every single key.
Hypothetically, he could turn himself into a piano.
He could.
He could just turn himself into a MIDI synthesizer. I mean, well, let's cut out the middleman. Or a speaker.
Yeah. Yes, Vic Fontaine is Friendly Moriarty. Create a singer capable of defeating Frank Sinatra. And it makes Vic Fontaine. That's how it works.
Create a host capable of teaching Odo how to pick up women.
I don't think he's doing a
Everyone
good job.
Everyone says Felix is such a great holodeck programmer, and yet that's all he got to do.
So is... How much of Vic's personality is Felix?
We got a real good breathing scene here.
Yeah, breathing is very important. Everybody remember to breathe in and breathe out. Wait, what? What are they here for?
They're floozies.
Neither of those people is Kira.
Like the female robots that Bender hangs out with on Futurama. There's your context.
But is it just programmed that he goes?
They're... What does that mean? He's not trained at all. He doesn't even know how to play the piano in that room. What do you mean?
That if that lady's into Liberace, she's going to be very disappointed.
I was about to say so many jokes, just so many jokes.
This is really good.
Is Victor Borga Sheki? Is Sheki a real person that I should know? I guess he might have been a real person in the 60s, and I am slightly younger than that.
He is real. Shecky Green is an American comedian.
Shecky Green, right? Yeah.
He is known
Yeah.
for his nightclub performances in Las Vegas, Nevada, where he became a headliner in the 1950s and 60s.
And Victor Borg is a fairly famous piano player.
And he's still
He's great.
alive. He's 95
That's great.
years
No,
old.
he's not. No, he died
Yeah.
at 100.
Yeah.
But wait, check it, because his Wikipedia
Is
page
Shecky
says he's
alive?
still
Oh,
alive.
Victor Borg is dead. I don't know
No,
about Shecky.
Shecky's alive.
Oh, yeah.
He's 95
Oh,
years
that's
old.
cool. Wow.
You okay, Odo?
This encapsulates this episode. Fun idea to a degree. Interesting
little too
character
long.
brought in. And then just these awkward scenes being shoved into it.
Is this Cisco's only scene?
Where he gets to sing, yes. That's all we need him for.
This scene is so meaningless and just feels tossed in. But
Yeah.
if this is his only scene, I guess you get Avery Brooks on camera at least.
And it's Avery Brooks doing his favorite thing.
Oh.
Sitting down.
Ordering people around.
I meant
Oh, singing.
like singing and music, but sure, ordering people around.
And why did they never call this How Odo Got His Groove?
Uh,
Not even back, just how.
Because he's like,
we got it to
It
begin
might have been a
with.
licensing issue. Copyright.
maybe how Odo got his flow.
Oh, you could parody it
Oh.
in a reasonable way.
Oh yeah, Shakar. Wait, is she? I kind of forgot about Shakar. First Minister. Also a space ghost in Space Scotland.
That's where he's gone. He moved to Space Scotland.
Oh, I see. Odo, this isn't healthy.
So-
Just talk to her.
What are the mechanics of like a humanoid and a changeling? Being,
Let's not
Whatever
go.
they want.
Let's not delve into that. Let's leave that to the imagination for our YouTube-friendly Christian Minecraft stream. No, yeah, anything they want. That's the mechanics. Including when he just turns into a cloud in their quarters for some reason. A glittery cloud.
None.
Yes, you have steered him wrong. At no point have you said to just talk to her.
Hey, you're just having him play the piano.
Not even. Pretend to play the piano.
Is it that Vic is bored and he just does this for fun? He's like, I'm gonna have this really elaborate plan just to see what happens.
I think he's supposed to be building his like confidence, but that
Okay,
not really
no-
that useful.
No, this is bad. No, don't do this. Don't
Yeah,
create a
this is,
holographic representation of the girlfriend that you want.
Never
I
goes
mean,
Is
This is the LaForge dating tactic.
is that an visitor singing, or is that someone else?
Yeah,
is
it's
that a
her.
voiceover? That's her.
It's her. It's dubbed, but it's her voice. Yeah.
Can everybody in the cast sing? Avery Brooks,
I don't
Renee
know,
Aubergenois, na visitor.
I don't think Andrew Robinson does, but I think most of them do.
So the recent Gates McFadden podcast was a two-parter with Nana Visitor, and Nana Visitor has a lengthy history with performance. So like this doesn't surprise me at all.
Okay.
She's like been in theater since she was a very, very young child because both of her parents were dancers and choreographers.
So you guys remember, right, that episode where that alien wanted a hologram of Kira? And both Odo and Kira
Yep.
were deeply offended by the idea. No matter what they were going to do with it, creating a holographic representation of a real person was horribly unethical. They would never do it.
Oops.
Yeah,
Here,
but
Odo is participating in it.
yeah, but otherwise we don't get this scene. So we need this scene with Nana Visitor singing.
That's the thing when you have so many writers on a show. You know, stuff gets lost between the cracks.
This is a weird episode.
Mm.
Now they're going to have to wash their hands after having a drink. Do they have some wet wipes or something? Or
Where does Odo put the drink? It's just kinda
Anywhere he
inside of
wants.
him. He's got a sack, a champagne sack.
Don't say it like that.
You know, maybe we should put Quark's head on her. Be good. It worked really
This
well the
can't
first
be
time.
healthy.
The cigarettes? No, cigarettes are not healthy at all.
I mean, like, mentally.
No. No, this is gonna...
Nothing about this is right.
If Kira finds out about this, you're gonna kill your relationship chances with her. But then he's already killed his relationship chances with her like 3 separate times. When he joined
You
the
mean-
Dominion.
Yeah, I'm about to say being a traitor to the Federation and
Yeah.
basically the whole Alpha Quadrant. That
Somehow that
little
didn't
thing.
do it.
I want this scene to end with Vic stepping in, and just being like, "End program. Wait, just go talk to her. Duh. Why didn't I lead with that?"
45 minutes. You don't need that much time to just tell him.
It's like, oh man, I don't know. Just totally forgot about that simple thing.
This could have been a 5-minute episode.
This might have worked if it was a B plot.
Not
It
the
feels
entire
like
plot.
that,
Not the
doesn't
whole
it?
plot. We don't even have a B plot.
There is no B plot. Yeah.
This seems like a strange episode to focus entirely, like, one plot. This is it. This is your golden egg.
A hologram, fake Kira.
Yes, we do. We've had a whole episode about that.
That's a nice tie-in.
Yeah, maybe if, like, the rest of the gang was off in a runabout somewhere on some planet, solving a crisis, and then we occasionally just cut back to this. Maybe 5 to 10 total minutes
rest-
of romance
The
plot.
rest of the gang is out solving a mystery, which turns out to be Old Man Plotter
Yeah.
Yeah. You
in a mask.
could even, I mean, you could even bookend it with like some Dax Wharf stuff. Like you know, there's ways to do it.
Old Man Ducat.
What are you wearing, Kira?
It was Ducat in a mask all along.
And I
was
would've
actually
gotten away
Garrett.
with it, too.
There you go. The entire occupation was Garrick in a Gul Ducat mask.
Wow, the whole time. Then, wait, what happens when Odo, or not Odo, when Garrick and Ducat are fighting?
Oh, it's a projection
It's a
double.
holographic. Yeah, it's a holographic.
But actually, that's like an Olsen's twin thing. He just moves back and forth very fast.
Oh, I see. Okay.
There is only one Olsen child, and she just moves back and forth very quick.
It's a holosuite. He's a hologram. How do you think he got in? So, obviously Kira is willing to go on a date with Odo, because Vic's just gonna ask her out for him. So what if What if Vic just said, go ask Kira on a date? Because clearly it would have worked. He's a hologram, Kira. Don't worry about it. I'm surprised she doesn't just delete him. As soon as he barges in and refuses to go, just computer delete Vic Fontaine. Though I don't know if it would work. He seems to have control over the computer. I mean, it's kind of murder.
It's like it's half murder.
There, look, she said yes to the date. That's all it took. Now just tell Odo that she agreed to a date. Jeez, why does Vic have so much control over the station? Could Vic just take over the station if he wanted to?
That's what I'm
be a
wondering.
great
Could he
episode.
destroy the station?
How much power does Vic Fontaine have? This feels like a security risk. I don't know if he should be allowed to be here.
The Dominion War was won by Vic Fontaine.
When the Dominion tries to invade, Vic Fontaine takes over the targeting systems.
Maybe remember when the senior staff were stuck in the holodeck buffers? Whatever. Maybe he has access to like all their knowledge
He has the command
and their
codes.
security clearance. Yes.
I feel like we should be more concerned about this.
I think I remember like skipping through this scene the last time I watched it.
It's a pretty long scene. We've got like 10 minutes, so settle in.
It's long.
It's long and awkward. I'm just like,
Also, wait, he just said 2100 is 9 o'clock. That's a good point. They're on 26 hours. How does that work? Surely that would be 8 o'clock if it's 1313. This doesn't feel right. I think their timing is messed up.
Yeah, we're getting caught up on a lot of serious issues for our lounge singer dating episode.
Yeah, Kira never likes the holosuite. She just... Dax tries to take her out to go play some holosuite programs, and she doesn't like it. Goes on a date to the holosuite, she's not into it. Kira just doesn't like the holosuite. Why did the translator not translate it?
A dead Earth language at that.
Yeah, an obscure language.
Excuse me.
ugh.
French was the language of all civilizations. Was it lingua de franc?
Lingua franca.
Lingua franca. Not anymore, it's not.
Oh, but they're trying because the French takes over the EU for next year, and they're already starting to push stuff saying we should make French the official language and kick out English
Why would we do
'Cause
that?
because it's the French and they love their language so much, and they're angry because it used to be the lingua franca 100 years ago.
Everybody already speaks English. Seems just inconvenient.
The French seem to have trouble with letting go.
Oh, the French language is very inconvenient.
They had a bloody 2,500-year war with England. They can't let anything go.
England has a hard time letting things go too, of course. Hence Brexit. Oh no, we're
I
slightly
don't know,
not
they sure let go of all their
It's a tyranny.
colonies.
Nah.
Hey, Soma, Argo is not here to defend Britain, so you can't.
No, now it's the perfect time.
Yeah,
Wah.
what do you mean? That means we can attack England more. Odo, you're being weird.
Can they just get to kiss and then the episode's over?
No, we've got another few minutes of this. Soft jazz playing. Is he gonna go fake play the piano for her?
Look, you knew what you were getting into when you logged into this stream, okay?
I was just sitting here wondering why
complaints
nobody
now.
was. I was just sitting here wondering why nobody was saying anything, and I forgot that I deafened myself.
Nice.
You know, this is kind of like what Jordy did on his holographic date with a real person. He brought, I don't know who it was, just some nameless ensign or lieutenant or whatever. He had a date on a beach, and then he summoned a mariachi band or a singer or something and just played right in their ear. The thing, it feels weird to have someone play an instrument just for you and watching you have a date.
I thought you were going a different direction with that and referring to Leah Brahms.
No. Random
So,
lieutenant lady.
in the light of the Leah Brahms thing, if after this Kira finds out that Odo thought she was a hologram, what does that say for what he was willing to do? I mean, he didn't do anything inappropriate by all means, but
If she finds out,
no, you're that's not what I meant. It.
I get you.
What does Kira think after this incident? Like, this is what Oda was willing to do with a holographic version of me. If it hadn't been found out, how far would it have gone, etc.? Why doesn't that ever play into her decision?
Why does the fact that he's a literal traitor not play into her decision?
I mean, yeah, but that's the sort of thing that we're kind of setting aside for a moment.
He's a fake.
I used to like Odo, and then we started this watch-along series.
And now we see him for the fraud that he is. Yeah.
They could go to the Klingon restaurant.
She says on the station. Does that mean the promenade's not the only place where this kind of thing is?
Oh,
I
don't know.
I thought the outer ring was only residential, or the inner ring. No, the inner ring is the residential ring.
Yeah, the habitat ring, and then the outer ring is the docking ring. But it wouldn't surprise me if there was like a couple restaurants out on the docking ring because they got a better view of things because they're not obstructed by the rest of the station, etc.
Maybe a nice little pop-up Mexican place,
or whatever. But
like a food truck.
If you think about, so like I've said before, DS9 is essentially an airport.
Yeah.
If you think about airports, there are restaurants and shops and everything everywhere, in between gates, all the way out in the middle of nowhere. They're just everywhere. So why wouldn't that be true of DS9?
it's kind of like a truck stop too.
I mean, yes, but the basic idea is that people come to the station, catch a ship, and then go somewhere else. Especially with it being out in the middle of nowhere, because like you don't come to the station to go to Bajor, you go to Bajor to go to Bajor.
So Vic is allowed to end his own program, but the Doctor couldn't.
Awful lot of power to give a stereotype.
Yeah, so you surrender the station, and then when it gets taken over by the enemy, Vic seizes control, kills them, destroys all their ships, and then you just come back and
just
retake
open
the
all
station.
the airlocks.
Yeah,
Have Vic open all the airlocks. He doesn't need them.
Somebody should be working on this.
Not anymore, she doesn't. Now she thinks you're a total creep, Odo. You can't stop him, Odo.
First
Not that
smart
easily.
thing Odo did.
He just logs right back in.
Yeah,
Listen,
he is the computer. If you say so. Okay, so Kira's gonna take the step and just talk to him.
Yep, he doesn't really deserve this second chance, but she's giving it to him anyway.
I mean, if we're talking about what Odo deserves, we might have just, like, airlocked him or shot him.
Yeah.
You can't really hang him as a traitor.
Just make him spend a lot of time with Wei Yun or something.
You can't space him either. He can travel through space like the other
Yeah,
shapeshifter
he
could.
can. Okay. But then, what about that time he froze to death in a runabout?
Well, there's that device later on, or is it earlier on, where Garrick is holding him in a position where he can't shapeshift, and he starts dying.
Yes. Tortured, the torture field.
Yeah.
Take away his bucket.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Why was he getting cold? And then the founders liked it cold when they were in the headquarters of the Cardassian homeworld.
The Cardassians keep it real hot.
Colder. Yeah.
Bloody reptiles.
Was Odo
oh my God.
at the point where they were freezing? Was he humanoid at that point?
Hang on. The fascist Cardassian state is what happens when the reptilians successfully take over the government.
Lizard people.
So what episode are you talking about where Odo gets cold?
I'm thinking of the one, Treachery, Faith in the Great River, where he's escorting traitor Wei Yun back to the station. And then he has to land on a comet or something and hide in the ice.
He's not really cold there. It's Wei Yun who
just Wei Yun
is visibly cold.
So
Odo's
Odo
just
could have
kinda
been a
sitting there.
blanket for him.
True.
It's kind of creepy.
Fine. Wei Yun would have loved it.
Wrapped up in the warmth of his god.
Exactly. Of his security officer. Once again, Vic, he doesn't actually know how to play the piano.
Yeah, I never had that much of a problem with this episode, except for some of the cringier moments. But now I really don't like this episode.
I'm glad
Vic
we
is
could
not the
ruin it
problem
for
with
you.
this episode.
You should never join these watch-along streams. You should never watch the VOD. You should never join the voice chat. It just ruins all of Star Trek.
No, so I'm of the opinion that I think it's a good thing to be critical of the things that you love.
Yeah, it all comes from a good place.
In the end, it's really not that serious.
No.
Yeah.
No.
We still love the show.
It's just a very easy show to make fun of.
I mean, most media is like that. A lot of it is.
Oh, just wait till we get to Voyager.
Oh God.
Going to annihilate that show.
We're gonna go from season 7 TNG and DS9 to season 1 Voyager. That's gonna be fun.
Oh, it's gonna hurt so much.
That's gonna be rough. Okay, let's see. Let me update the title, because the next episode is The Reckoning.
With one of my favorite characters. Yay!
Captain
Because
Sisko.
Yes. Captain Cisco.
Ah, 1 minute, by the way. I assume you mean Kai Wynn.
Miss Louise Fletcher? Why, yes, I do.
I love to hate her. I mean, she did really well,
yeah.
making me hate her guts.
Yeah.
That's what's so great about him.
We might love Louise Fletcher, but we definitely hate Kai Wynn.
Oh, totally.
She's the worst.
Just a terrible, terrible person.
And, like Kira mentioned, she has a moment of clarity later on, where she realizes she has to stay in power. Now that she can help Bajor with her new humbleness, humility. Now that she's learned, she can help. She's obligated to stay in power. Anyway, press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Jaeger class. God, it's been so many... Has it been like 2 months since we've seen a triangle?
It's been a long time.
It's been a bit.
I think instances of triangle ships too will disappear after DS9 completely.
I mean,
Because
I know
Voyager
there are
is like-
some in Enterprise.
Oh, really? I had no idea.
Yeah, there's... If you remember that episode with the ghost ship, with Odo in it, actually. And there's a bunch of holograms.
Oh.
That ship is a triangle ship that's crashed into the Earth.
Huh.
Well, not the Earth, into Epsilon Theta 47.
I would have figured they would have retired the model once they start going exclusively CGI, and it's relatively easy to create new kinds of ships.
Nope, we see some more.
Huh.
Have they conquered
forgot
Beta
to
Z yet?
corrected.
Because they did mention Betazoid Space. Do they own Beta Z?
Yeah, that fell in Pale Moonlight.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Jerix, what have you
Jerix, they're
did?
coming for you.
Oh god, here they come.
What did you do?
Left the
Here
window
comes
open.
the
that's fine.
Dominion.
Did you betray your uniform?
Are you portraying yours
He was
right
caught
now?
making illegal hollow programs of the senior staff.
Okay. Actually, was that even a cop car? That might have been an ambulance.
I think it was an ambulance.
I think they have slightly different sirens.
The new, really creepy you.
Oh, that matte painting of Bajor should be up for auction tomorrow, by the way.
Ooh.
Is that right?
I think so.
That's pretty cool.
I want the matte painting of the hallway, and I'll just put it at the end of my
I know.
hallway, and everyone will think that my house transitions into the station.
That would be fun.
I know Data's paintings sold a while ago.
Okay, so I see the auction here. In fact, you know what? After this episode, I'll bring up the whole thing and we can look at it. But the opening bids on all the matte paintings are $1,000. The opening bids. They're selling a
If
lot
they'll
of
stop
matte
it there, I
paintings.
can take care of it.
I am bidding 1 graphics card.
Wow, there's a lot of paintings for sale. Alien Concept R2 is opening bid $1. Concept oil painting of Romulus is current bid $5. Yeah, they're having a big auction of all the matte paintings and stuff. I think there's also a TOS phaser. Oh, you can also buy Spock's ear tips.
Oh, that's a good one.
A TOS what?
TOS phaser. Yeah, buying Spock's actual ear tips, that feels weird. Do you put them on? Do you put them on a shelf? What do you do with it?
I wouldn't put them on.
You put them in a shadow box and hang it on the wall.
Yeah, not even out of sanctity, just because I don't want to put on 50-year-old plastic.
But maybe some of Leonard Nimoy's earwax is still on them. The holy earwax.
Yeah.
I think it's very important to remember throughout this episode that they took a holo photo of the big obelisk, and then used that on a holosuite.
Yeah?
That's all they did. They didn't take it up with them.
They're bringing the disc. They're not bringing
Just
the
saying.
obelisk, but they're taking the disc.
Because that makes sense.
And it's pretty hard to move a whole obelisk.
It's also really easy to take a
The
dozen
obelisk was a
pictures of
different
this thing.
episode, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was last season, I think.
The obelisk was where they
That was
found
how they
Valhalla
found
in the first place.
Valhalla. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could definitely just take a hollow image of this thing, but nah, it's theirs.
We're just taking it.
The
we're,
Cisco.
We're Starfleet. It's what we do.
Oh, is this the first time we get the Cisco? I think this might be the first time we get the.
Really? What?
Maybe. I can verify that. No, it's not the first time. Now I'm
was gonna
remembering
say.
that episode where Zek is taken by the prophets and changed. They talk about like, oh, did the Cisco send you?
I thought they called him the Cisco from like the get-go.
No. The first time is that episode with Zek.
You mean?
I think that's right.
This episode of Ryan Says is brought to you by MasterCard, because at Quark's Bar, they don't take American Express.
But they're literally space Yankees. What do you mean? They don't take American Express. They're Americans.
American Express has really high fees for the merchant, so a lot of places don't take it.
Okay.
I think it's the same with Discover.
And no, the phasers that are on auction probably are not in working condition. Also, they're kind of grungy because they've been sitting in a storage area for 60 years.
I doubt they were ever in working condition.
Probably not. They also,
I mean, some of them had lights that worked in them.
the auction pictures have some close-up photos, and when you look at them up close, it's real obvious how they made them. Like, they just put hot glue sticks on the end, or little bits of plastic for crystals. They don't look that great up close.
What would you say is your favorite phaser model?
How about that little garage door opener from TNG?
Yeah, there you go.
That's a good one. I don't know, they all kind of look like toys. They're not great.
Undiscovered country phasers, I like the best.
Star Trek
How about those,
Undiscovered Country Phaser Prop. I don't know what it looks like.
Season 1 next gen phasers, the tiny little handheld things, like
Yep,
palm
garage door
size.
opener.
Ugh.
It's beautiful.
I was always partial to the phaser rifles.
What about the Season 1 Dustbuster? Oh, the first contact phaser rifles are pretty nice, too.
Yeah, I
They
think they'll
spoke to
have
me.
those in the Battle of blah 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 blah. They'll have
Some
them in
kind of
season 7.
prophecy. You might
I
say.
assume that Vedic Man is guest star James Green. Because I don't know the name James Green, but he sounds very familiar. He's a guest star. James Green, IMDb. Star Trek. No, not that James Green. There's a bunch of James Greens.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Memory Alpha page to see what they say. Yeah, that's him.
Now I just have to find which
Legend for
IMDb
all.
page is him. Oh, that looks like him. I think I maybe found him. Nope, never mind. James Green IMDb page. Star Trek. Okay, that's him. Dr. Barron. He's a councilman in Parks and Rec.
Huh?
He's an extra in Voyager, Corral and DS9. Oh, yes, Dr. Barron is how I know him, because he's the guy from Who Watches the Watchers. He's the Doctor Man. Triangle ship. Triangle. That's a triangle.
Absolutely.
Nice.
God, it's been so long. Oh, we finally got one.
Triangle ship confirmed. Ryan's very excited.
I'm very excited. But yeah,
I wonder-
Dr. Barron was the one who wanted to impose a set of commandments on those people.
If DS9 ever gets an HD remaster, there might be more triangle ships lingering on in the fuzz.
Yeah, that's true.
They could pull a Tatooine, a Mos Eisley, and just digitally insert triangle ships into
I'd be
every
okay with
scene.
that.
So
That's fine.
going on in this scene right now, as much as we all despise Kai Wynn, she's 100% right here.
Yeah, she is. It belongs in a museum.
Yeah, but she's she's just doing it to get on his nerves.
But she's still right.
Maybe, but like I think she is
She's
still
not wrong.
100% right.
She's not wrong, but she
Her
is doing it to
motivations
get on
are
his nerves.
correct.
If it was
You
any
say
other
just.
guy,
You say just though. I don't think it's just that. I think that's just a bonus. I think she's absolutely right to make this vocal of a protest.
We need 19 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There. We have seen that
here's
many
where
triangle
she tells
ships.
us that the prophets have never spoken to her.
They're going
Every
to
episode
today.
she's in.
Kind of.
You all have a wonderful night. I got a bunch of 3-hour days ahead of me, or 12-hour days. Sorry.
3-hour days. Wow, that's real easy.
I've got
No.
3 12-hour days ahead of me.
Okay. Have fun.
It sounds like you already need to sleep.
Yeah. Well, I got to go to Greece this weekend. It's a difficult life
nice.
I live.
Yeah.
See
Okay.
y'all in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Later.
See you, dude.
You know, it occurs to me that I probably should have mentioned that I'm probably going to have to cancel next week's streams. But he's not going to be here anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. He said see you in 2 weeks.
Oh no, what happened, Ryan?
Like nothing ever happened.
That
It's
works
just the
out.
4th of July weekend next week, I think.
Is it?
Oh, if that's not your reason, yes.
No,
it is
I just
it
have
is
other
4th of
stuff
July.
to do. Okay, it is 4th of July. Wow, that's convenient. No, I don't know if I need to cancel it or not quite yet. Wormhole, aliens, prophets, it's all the same. Do they care what happens to the Bajorans? It seems like they could do a lot more.
That's what she's saying.
Also, why do they want a penance? They just want to be gods. Why do they want to be gods? Who are they to exact penance? They lose something in translation. Okay. I'm just surprised he can read Bajoran. Also, Bajoran looks really difficult to write. Kind of like Chinese looks really difficult to write.
Yeah, it looks like they got a little symbol language.
Is this the one where she's translating something and it says they'll either suffer greatly or eat fruit?
I think
Yes.
so.
Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, one or the other. It's not really a big deal which it is. Or maybe it's both. Maybe it's a double entendre in Ancient Bajoran. Maybe the fruit causes the suffering.
I feel enough has happened for these guys to be just a little more open to the prophet's warnings.
We know they can see the future. Well, we know they exist in the future. Oh yeah, I'm not showing the blur. There's the blur. 15 minutes in, we fixed it. We did it.
They exist in all time points at once because they're nonlinear.
Wait, isn't that line supposed to be for tomorrow we all may die?
Yes.
Not just tomorrow we die. That's a little more morbid, Julian.
Yeah.
What does he know that we don't? The wormhole. How is the station shaking? Is that gravitational waves? Because, I mean, it's not an earthquake. They're on a space station.
It's a space quake.
It's a spacequake.
I mean, there is some prior precedent for wormholes emitting, I think they call them gravitons, when they try to, during that episode with the other Trill, where they come and try to make a wormhole. It does damage to the Defiant. And also the Three Vipers prophecy episode, that then they do a test on a wormhole, it does the same thing.
Okay. But really, my
Pulls the
biggest
comic book.
issue is that Kira's saying she's having a meal, but she's having like a little snack of fruit. That's not a full meal. Take like 2 minutes to eat. She's having just a few grapes, a few slices of pineapple.
It's a meal if you're a 105-pound Hollywood actress.
That's barely any food.
mean,
That's going to
Just
be like
saying.
40 calories for the whole thing.
Yeah, I bet you there's a lot of actresses who have less than 1,200 calories a day.
That's also just what she's eating there. Like, that's not that maybe because of the scene, you know, like she doesn't want to have a bunch of food on her plate that she has to eat during takes or something. I would
Yes.
imagine that a visitor actually eats more food than that.
Probably. That probably was not Anna's only meal for the day, no. Man, the quakes are never because you angered a god. It never works out that way. It's not true here. It wasn't true with the Mintakans. It's not true in real life. It's never angering the gods. Why does everyone always assume it's angering the gods?
Everything damages relations between Bajor and the Federation. You can't avoid it.
She's just a Bajoran Karen. I want to speak to your manager.
Yeah, but I mean, she got Shakar to sign on to it. That tells you how serious this is to them.
How browbeaten he's become in the last few months.
Oh, she's right to demand the return of the tablet. She might be a Karen, but this time she has a legitimate grievance against
Yeah,
the
I'm
establishment.
not arguing that she has a right to demand it. I'm just arguing about her motivation.
Ah, here's the fruit. That's pretty close. Why? So, okay, hypothetically, if it were eat fruit, what would that mean for the reckoning? Because it's supposed to be this big celestial battle between angels and demons.
It's going to be an eating contest, and they're going to gorge themselves on fruit, and whoever gives up first loses.
And then the other person gets total control of Bajor.
Have that little
Whoever can eat the most
what was his
fruit.
name? That little dude that wins all the hot dog eating contests.
Jeffrey Combs.
Yeah, Jeffrey Combs will show up, and he'll win the hot dog eating contest or fruit eating contest, and then he'll take over the wormhole.
I don't know, the Klingons aren't really good at holding out. They just kind of... They sprint in, get themselves nearly killed, and run away. That's their whole thing.
I feel
nearly
like
being the operative word.
I feel like I've done a lot of holding out recently.
Yes. For those who don't know, that's an inside joke about Halo.
Seemed like every mission had at least one holdout, usually more
That's
than
just
one.
what Halo 2 is like. It's a lot of holdouts. You just clear wave after wave. What? You had to ruin her big moment, Cisco. And you don't even want the job. You got more power than her, something she's worked for her whole life, and you don't even want it. What if we had Garrick assassinate the Kai? Then we get a new Kai. Just get someone else. He's not part of the Federation. He's allowed to do that. Kind of. You look like you enjoyed forcing his hand. You look like you're having a great time. That's somewhat revealing of her motivations there, yeah. Where she says, next time he should consider my thoughts or my feelings more thoughtfully.
At this point, she's just functioning out of spite.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, it's another spacequake. What is that? Is that a xenomorph? What's that statue? It's interesting having seen Jake Sisko grow up from what was he, like 11 or 12? Now he's a full-grown, freakishly tall adult. No, he's like 6'4".
Still got the same haircut.
He does. But he got rid of the sweater. Now he just has a vest like his dad. Put the sweater back on, Jake.
So he was 14 when the show started.
14? Okay. Which would now put him at 20 in this episode. Wait, no, 19. I imagine he's now as old as Captain Sisko is. So he would have been 14 in 1990. What was it, 7?
No,
3?
2.
1992? Okay. Then plus 8, so that's 22, then 21.
He looked real young in the first season. You sure he was 14?
Yep, I just did the math.
He was,
He was-
like, he shot up like a foot and a half between like
Yeah,
the first
he
couple
had his growth
seasons.
spurt.
Yeah, Sirach Lofton was born in 78. And the first episode aired in 1992.
So he's
Or
40.
93. It
43.
aired in January of 93, so they were filming in 92.
That's a fair question, Cisco. Why do they have to be so enigmatic? Why can't they just say what they mean?
Yeah, if everyone was just more open, wouldn't have to deal with this.
It's- The prophets could take some advice of just talk to them. Just talk to him. If you want Cisco to do something, just tell him.
Jesus Christ.
There we go. You let out the angel and the demon. You did it, Cisco. Now, I imagine the Bajoran government is going to sue him for that.
Yeah,
I don't know what
they're
they can
gonna take him in front of
recover.
Judge Judy.
Yeah.
So
Actual damages.
Sirach Lofton now is about 7 years younger than Avery Brooks would have been in this episode. Avery Brooks was 50 in this episode, and Sirach Lofton is 43 today.
I'm going to look up a picture of Sirach Lofton. See how old he looks.
He still looks pretty young.
He does. And he has a Cisco haircut, which is to say bald head and a goatee.
Yeah. He looks like in some pictures, not all of them, but in some pictures, he definitely resembles Avery Brooks.
Wow, maybe he really is his son. So, when the Bajorans inevitably sue Cisco for this, what can you recover in this kind of instance? Because how do they assign a monetary value to the ancient relic?
2 latinum.
I assume Cisco's going to get fired. No, really, he did it because he had a bout of frustration. And he wanted to smash something. A plan for Bajor. The prophet. I don't even know what the prophet's plan for Bajor is, and I've seen the whole series. Their plan for Bajor seems to just be for Bajor to exist and worship them.
He's got a big office.
He does. Only hundreds? You have industrial replicators, just make new ones. What's the issue? That's not that many. You can just make new houses. Might take a bit to replicate the specific belongings, but no, housing is easy. If you have an industrial replicator. Okay, why is Major Kira now the gatekeeper? Yeah, this feels like something we should bring the Ghostbusters in for.
I am the gatekeeper. Are you the key master?
If someone's gonna pay Cork for all those bottles.
There is no Kira. There is only Zool.
The Cisco.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Just talk like a normal person, Prophet. Doesn't have to be so
Start from
dramatic.
there.
That's not helpful. Of course he doesn't understand. She's not making any sense. You're just awaiting the Coast Emotion. You've got time to explain. Just tell him what's going on. That's not helpful. Yeah, that didn't work out. But surely the prophets know who's going to prevail, because it's all happened to them already. Still refusing to speak with her. Oh, that counts as talking to her.
Walk out an airlock, please.
Resign.
Take up sculpture.
In general.
No, no. Just maim or seriously injure a prophet. What if we make like a chronoton gun? And then once the battle is joined and Bajor is reborn, what if we just shoot the Coast Emotion with the graviton gun or the chronoton gun?
It's like cheating, man.
Could we make one? I think we could build one. Then we could use gun on Coast Emotion. I bet it would work. If the prophets lose, well, we could ensure that the prophets don't lose. I mean, this prophet is saying that this vessel is willing, but we learn later for sure that they don't actually care if the vessel is willing. They possess another woman and force her to live a whole life with someone that she doesn't even like. Force her to have a kid. They don't care if she's willing. Man, why is nobody on this show even considering just killing the Coast
No,
Emotion themselves?
Non-interference. Prime directive.
I think they should do it. Again, they keep saying there's no guarantee the Prophets will win. If the Prophets win, we're all doomed. Or if the Prophets lose, we're all
The
doomed.
prophets already know because they can see they exist in all time periods at the
They
same
should
time,
already
so
know.
they,
They just refuse to tell anyone. In fact, wait, hang on. The Prophets
they
exist
just
in all
see
times
all
at
possible. Yeah.
once. And
Maybe they just see all possible outcomes simultaneously. They don't know which one's going to be.
later in the episode, Prophet Kira is going to be massively surprised by something. She didn't foresee it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Because he's the emissary, that's why.
Because his faith is stronger than yours.
And once again, the prophets do not care about their prayers. Not even a little. The evil one might be victorious, you don't know. Wait,
oh man,
that's somewhat menacing, actually.
Yeah, that's foreboding.
I'm reminded of that TNG episode where Troy, Data, and O'Brien get possessed. And I'm wondering if that's what the prophets are planning to do if they win.
Wow.
If they're just going to take over the Bajorans.
That's interesting.
Also, additional question.
Let it begin.
Was that vessel willing? Does Jake want to be...
Absolutely not.
No? Are you sure?
Well, at the end of the episode, he says yes, he was. Kind
No,
of.
he doesn't.
He says that he knew how evil he was and he had to be defeated even if it meant he lost his life.
Yeah, that doesn't imply that he accepted its presence.
I don't know. I think Jake just wants to be a devil.
Well,
Okay, this is kind of a lame celestial battle now that we're actually seeing it.
This episode
It's
is
like-
pure filler.
We're just doing a Harry Potter
Yep.
duel.
right. I was going to say it's like Harry Potter and what's his face? Voldemort.
Anticlimactic. Now, what if we just shot Jake with a gun?
What if we just shot the Kai?
Oh no, she was blasted by the Coast Emotion. It's worth it. Well, it looks like he's losing, honestly. I think this will work out fine. Yeah, it looks like the Prophets are winning. This is fine.
Yeah, just have Dax keep an eye on things, make sure the station doesn't blow up.
Why is she still here? Oh boy. Okay, the Kai's going to ops. Good job, Dax. You lost the Kai.
The Kai just phased through a matte painting.
Come on, like 10 more seconds and the Prophets are gonna win.
Well, if the Prophets didn't talk to her before, they're really not going to talk to her now.
Yeah, no, they're not friends. No, they're not gonna forgive you. But you know, the Coast Emotion probably really likes her now because the Coast Emotion was about to die. She just saved its life.
Well, you know how that works out.
Yeah, the Coast Emotion and her become friends. That's how it works out. They're besties.
She allies with any party she thinks will further her own ambitions.
Yes, she does. Triangle! Oh, it's been so long since we haven't even one triangle. Now we have 2 in the same episode.
God, you're spoiled now.
We're up to 44 triangles.
You're gonna be so disappointed when we don't have any more triangles.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There we go. 44 triangles. It's not totally clear that it's the same ship returning. I'm going to assume it's a different ship because that makes me happier if it's different ships.
Question: is that just Deep Space Nine, or is that Deep Space Nine and Next Generation?
Both.
That's all of it, yeah.
44 triangle ships across both series so far. God, I don't know if they use it in Voyager. I think they do, but it's really well disguised. We're going to have to really keep our eyes out for it. I think there's a listing. It might be X Astra Scientia. Star Trek. Oh, I remember what that article is called. Husnock Warship Redresses, or something like that.
It was Fajo's ship first.
Okay, so yeah, it does show up a few times in Voyager. A couple times in Enterprise. And then, look, okay. The new Star Trek shows, I like them, but they don't use the triangle ship, and it's deeply disappointing. They use their new ship models. Like, I don't care that they redid the original Enterprise. I don't care that the nacelle design is really different from the TOS era. Whatever, who cares? They don't use the triangle ship. That's the issue.
You know, I was really on board with the concept that the refit was supposed to be like, that was supposed to have been the Enterprise all along. You know what I'm saying? So like the motion picture Enterprise was supposed to be what the Enterprise had always looked like. And I'm okay with that. Like I'm not someone who would get upset about the original TOS Enterprise design being retconned into something else that's more.
That's just like the Klingons. They always looked like that. We just didn't have budget.
Right. Well, the D7 pretty much stayed the same. It just get more greebles, but you did it for yourself. You couldn't stand the idea that you'd be obsolete.
No, you did not do the right thing, Kai. You were about to have 1,000 years of peace and a golden age, and you ruined it.
Hi, guys.
Howdy.
Hello.
Good job, Kai. No, your faith is not as pure as the emissaries. I guess she has faith in herself. She has faith of the heart.
Yeah.
Faith of the heart. Going where my heart will take me.
Been a long road.
Hello.
So yeah,
Hello.
we probably should have just shot the Kai.
Use gun on Kai.
A woman.
I mean, we should have shot the Kai before she was the Kai. We should have shot her when she was still a Vedic and just saved us like 6 years of bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Kai
Gotta
Win, we found Kai Opaka. We're gonna take you to go have a talk with her and work out your differences and see who's gonna be the
There
real
you
Kai.
go.
Just beam her down and leave. Just leave.
Yep. Just leave. Leave her there. Yep.
It all works out. Okay.
Is this the last episode for today?
I like this plan.
Yes.
I'm glad to be a part of this plan.
We're queuing up for the last episode today, which is going to be Valiant. Season 6, episode 22.
I wonder how the old Kai's doing down there on that no-death planet.
Well, she's not dead, I can tell you that.
Yeah, you know, they should have revisited that. They should have gone back and been like, hey, so yeah, the whole your replacement thing is not working out. We need you to not be dead any longer.
I mean, the whole issue was they couldn't beam her back up because if she left the planet, she would die for real as soon as she left.
Mm-hmm.
But she could
Yes.
be the Kai over Zoom.
Yes, exactly. They set up that satellite, the communications node between the both ends of the wormhole. So just get a little FaceTime with Bejor once a week or so. You know, it's all good.
Yeah. All right, 20 seconds.
message
to start.
from the
Everyone be queued
Kai.
up to Valiant.
Live
Which-
from the Gamma Quadrant.
Valiant is absolutely the best episode for today, but you also hate everyone in it at the same time. So that's fun.
Yeah, but hating like a good
Press play.
characterization way.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Continue.
Yes. We hate everybody. I have been waiting forever, someone said.
Waiting forever? What?
That was
What?
someone here in the background. Someone was complaining about
Oh.
slow service.
I was looking in the YouTube chat. I was like, "What? Are messages not loading for me? What am I missing? What do you mean? Someone says they're waiting forever." Honestly, yeah, running the religion on Microsoft Teams would 100% have been better. It's not getting fixed. Ah, good point. You don't have a problem. I mean, why not her? She's smart. She can fix it.
She's got 7 lifetimes of smartness.
No, Quark, don't put her on a pedestal. Just let her do the work. How does a
Ew.
replicator system
get
get
slimy?
gunky inside? It's just electronics, right? What happened?
Mm-hmm.
Did someone spill their drink into it?
The replicator matrix like materialized half constituted food inside of itself. Like it's all the proteins and amino acids and stuff that make up what it was gonna make.
I mean, we see in lower decks, the holodeck has this weird physical filter where you have to clean it out occasionally, with all the
Stuff.
from all the stuff that's on there.
Yeah, after
All the-
Riker uses it, whatever.
Captain Riker, yeah, and Geordi.
I mean, there's quite a bit of maintenance in every system.
But like I've never had goo suddenly appear in my computer. It gets dusty, and it might need a part replaced occasionally.
Are you sure you're
But
using
it's
your
not
computer right?
gooey.
If you've never
Yeah.
had goo appear in your computer?
Yeah, but your computer also can't materialize matter out of thin air.
So there was an era
I
where
don't know, he's
there
got,
was a
he's got 3090. I'm pretty sure they can.
there was an era where there was a huge problem with all these capacitors coming out of Japan. It was like the great capacitor blight. And if you have electronics from this era, you could have, the capacitors pop and they leak all their
television had that. Yeah.
they leak all their electrolytic stuff out and it stinks like cat piss and it's gooey. It ruins everything.
I don't think those were Japanese. I think they were Chinese.
Well, wherever they came from, there was like a few years where everything that was being made with these crap electrolytic capacitors. Let's find out.
Oh yeah, he'll have a great time visiting the muck and the
Capacitor
rain.
plague between 1999 and 2007. Oh, Taiwanese. So not China per se. Not China, as long as you don't ask China
Not
if it was
China.
from China.
Yeah.
We're getting caught up on the wrong details here.
Well,
Jake's kind of a terrible liar. There you go, Jake. Just confess. Confession
was-
is good for the soul.
it was mostly Taiwanese, but not completely.
I mean, it's up to you. Is that China? No, it's not China.
I say no. It's not Taiwan as a country. Sorry.
Grand Nagus, but I mean, if he's gonna go, is he gonna stay at Nog's house? Because then, I mean, if he's staying with him and Moogie is the real power behind the throne, so really he is gonna see the Grand Nagus. The grandest Nagus. Couldn't even be bothered to destroy the runabout. This runabout's definitely going to be destroyed, though. This is the Shenandoah. It's not the Rio Grande.
Well, if you're gonna take a runabout from D69, you better take the hero. That way you're invincible.
Yeah.
Or at
They
least the
didn't-
runabout's invincible.
They made a bad choice. Never take the Shenandoah. All right, they're going to die. They're going to die, and then we're going to replace them. And then, hang on. Oh, but if we kill Nog, then we don't get his leg storyline. Then we miss out on
Oh.
Vic.
So I don't know who
Fine.
told the story about the naming of the Valiant versus the Defiant last week. But
might have
You
been
did, I think, where they didn't want the two V names.
Yeah.
right. Voyager and
But
Valiant.
like when Nog identifies the Valiant, Jake says, "Great name."
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone
It's
was
just
sound like a score there.
Yeah,
I don't know,
someone's
I
a little
just-
salty.
I feel like the name isn't very suitable to the actions of the ship in this context, in this case.
Well, no, but
It's a little ironic.
But I guess we can't call it the USS Eco. There is a lovely triangle ship, but it's in the credits, so it doesn't count.
USS Pricks.
what?
The USS Smug. I specifically, for the thumbnail of this stream, I found the smuggest thumb picture I could of Captain Waters. Cadet Captain Waters. He's just the worst. Fortunately, after this episode, we never have to see him again.
Why is that, Ryan? Why do we never get to see him again?
I think he gets a disciplinary hearing and he goes to beautiful New Zealand, probably something like that.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's all right. That mean that it's not like he got everybody killed or anything.
Though I remember from the episodes Homefront and Paradise Lost with the coup on Earth, Red Squad was behind the power outage, and
Yes.
we see one member of Red Squad there. Is he on this
Yes.
ship?
Not that I know of, but if I spot him, I'll point him out.
I remember he's blonde and he has a jaw. DS9, Paradise Lost, Red Squad guy.
Are you talking about Riley Shepard?
Yes. Cadet Riley Shepard.
I think you see him briefly in this. Yeah, because he's credited.
Yeah, looking at the memory alpha, he's going to show up today.
He's played by David Gallagher, who actually went on to become like a producer, mostly in reality TV, and he's one of the producers on the Jersey Shore reboot, which I only know because I have a buddy who's an editor.
Because you love the Jersey Shore?
No. My friend works for him. My friend's like, I think my boss used to be on DS9.
Right.
Sure, that's
Right.
why you know it.
I'm sticking to that.
He's got a Snooki waifu pillow.
It's the Defiant. Give us the line, Jake. Great name. And you stood next to the console. Good job, Jake.
Now, if he was not a main character, he would be dead right now.
Oh, yeah. He would probably have a piece
"Oh,
of shrapnel coming out of his either neck or scalp.
Yeah, those console explosions are real kickers.
Luckily, he's the
Starfleet
son of the
regulations-
emissary, so he's fine.
743.6a requires all consoles to have a photon grenade inside, just in case.
You really want to make sure the captain goes down with the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Or rather, the senior staff around them.
It's Miles O'Brien.
It's
sort of.
fake O'Brien. There he is. That's Riley Aldrin Shepard.
Yeah, I think so.
That's
Maybe.
him. He's the helmsman.
I gotta hear him speak. Yep, that's him.
You know, the captain's audio is a little out of sync.
All right, now just think back to when you were in high school and imagine like
Do I have to?
40 members of your senior class is given like a battleship and sent off to war.
Yeah, I don't think I want any of my high school class, regardless of which ones, on any kind of battleship.
Starship.
A starship. What registry would that be? So these guys are right next to a starbase. Why don't they just go to the starbase?
If they were on their way to Ferenginar, where did these guys show up from? You know, like why are they so remote and far away?
Wait, Nog outranks these people.
Technically.
Because they're not really captain and commander and whatever. They're just cadets.
Can someone...
Yeah,
right,
field commission.
but he was given a field commission, so if he is a field commission, could Nog be like, yeah, now I'm in charge? Or...
I would think so.
I don't know.
I mean, we lost our
'Cause he's
military guy
technically-
because he has to go to Greece.
Like, remember in the episode of Next Generation where the Geordi is left in charge, and then the
Counselor
then
Troy.
chief engineer, the then chief engineer comes up and is like, I'm more senior, I should be in charge. And he's like, no,
Oh, yeah.
I need you in charge of the saucer section. You know, was that Encounter at Farpoint?
No, that was Arsenal of Freedom.
Arsenal of Freedom, yes, thank you.
Yeah, Nog's a full cadet. He got promoted
They
at some
did
point.
They did a whole lot more saucer separations in the first couple seasons, didn't they?
And then they realized it actually just took way too long and didn't really add anything to the story.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to field commission people if you're field commissioned yourself?
Sounds like a circular logic
promotion.
there. You can just keep promoting people.
I feel like you're not allowed to do that.
Can you give yourself a field commission to admiral? Just be like, no, I'm an admiral. All right.
A state-of-the-art warship. Maybe you should bring it back to a star base so it can be used for the war that's happening.
Well, they're doing what they think is helping the war, sort of.
The Kapla sector.
Qapla'. Qapla'.
You're not behind enemy lines anymore. You're right next to a starbase.
Yeah, but then he'd have to give up command.
He's a narcissist. I mean,
It's his defining character trait.
Yeah, I feel like Nog should be in charge here. Really? You almost lost to a Cardassian ship? That's just embarrassing. And then he made the terrible mistake of giving you even a slight amount of power.
Is that a slur?
I'm not sure if Cardi is a slur. Probably. I think that counts.
Sounds like one.
well, it's like saying human.
But I mean, there are real life slurs, which I don't want to say, where it's just you take the full name of something and shorten it, and that turns it into a slur. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but apparently it does. Chief engineer. No, I really don't think he can do that. I don't know that much about the military, but this feels wrong.
I mean, as long as they don't act on that power outside of this ship, I see no real problem with it.
Yeah, like you can assign roles to get things done in dire situations, but like you said, like they could just cruise back to a starship and really to a starbase and really should at this point.
But I mean the rank of lieutenant commander. I don't know if he can do that. I don't think he has the
he shouldn't
authority
be
to do
giving
that.
them ranks. He should just be assigning them jobs that are really not real, but they're just filling that position because
The best person on the ship for the job, even if they're not totally qualified.
I mean,
Well,
it's
yeah,
not.
exactly.
Yeah, it should be official, but it might be good as a way of sort of just ranking the officers out. Like, okay, now with that field ranking, he's higher than these people, but not higher than these people. That kind of thing.
You know, if you want to go faster than Warp 3.2, maybe you should put in at a starbase for repair. Maybe that starbase that you're right next to.
How fast is it runabout? Is it runabout this
Faster
faster
than
than
3.2.
3.2? Is it like warp 7, warp 5, something like that?
DS9, runabout, Danube class. Let me look it up. Warp 5.
That's pretty standard.
I don't know why I'm surprised that's someone established it.
This tiny little runabout goes as fast as the fastest ship in the fleet in Enterprise. Cruise speed of Warp 2, max speed of Warp 5. Up to 40 passengers, 6 phaser emitters, 2 torpedo launch tubes.
So it has exactly the same number of torpedo launchers as the Enterprise D.
Yes.
I always thought it was funny that the Enterprise D only had 2 torpedo launchers.
Why is she carrying a gun? Nobody else has a gun. Oh no, he has a gun.
Well, you're always saying use gun on man, so it's always good to have one around, I suppose.
It is. It's just, I don't know if... What's the moon like? Well, I mean, it's kind of gray and featureless except for the craters. It's not that great. Just lots and lots of craters. It's not barren and harsh? What do you mean it's not barren and harsh?
They
It's
got
a
cities
rock.
there. That's it.
No air. My favorite place.
Is that true about the moon that the sun only rises once a month?
Yeah, because the rotation's the same as its axis.
27
Makes
days,
sense.
yeah.
Maybe they could fabricate a message from Starfleet, ordering them to return to a starbase.
He would ignore it.
Well, here's the thing. Last week, Jake was literally possessed by a god, and he fought a different god.
Yeah,
he met
he's
God twice.
fine.
She felt like she met God because of a sunrise. Jake has actually met God, 2 of them. What do they do to prepare for warp speed? Don't they just hit a button and go?
Turn it on.
I don't know. What do you do in Bridge Crew?
You hit a button and you go.
Change to charge the
Oh,
warp
she's
coils
losing it.
first.
They can go home. I'm just surprised he didn't replicate himself in actual, like, captain's uniform. He's still wearing the cadet stuff.
He's hopped up on drugs.
Don't berate your crew.
This ship needs a counselor. She should have just
Well,
said she was chopping
have you been
onions.
crying? What's wrong? About what? What have you been crying about?
Yeah.
What's wrong with
This
you?
counselor would have given up. I would have given up if I was a counselor on this ship.
We'll walk
Everyone's just
right out of the
barely hanging
airlock.
on.
Well, if
Oh
we
my
had
God.
Counselor Troy, she would outrank everyone and she could tell them to go home.
That's true.
She'll be like the ship mom. You've all been very naughty. Now we go back home and sit in your quarters and think about what you've done.
Yeah, that sums it up. What, they're not allowed to have a casual conversation with people on the ship?
Yeah. Wait, what?
Very delicate balance of control being upset by him having a casual conversation.
Maybe if a crew is sent into emotional turmoil by a brief 2-minute conversation, maybe you should just go home. These people are both just awful. The first officer
Yeah,
and the
they are.
captain.
And even at the end, the other girl who has, is having the breakdown, she seemingly learns nothing.
Yeah. Probably just get her out of Starfleet, make her go do something else.
Yeah, go back to the moon.
Is this ship special? I mean,
Well, it does
there's at
carry
least
the
3
original name
defining
of the ship,
class.
the Valiant, so it's somewhat special.
I mean, he's off his rocker at this point. He's drugged up and just drunk with power. I mean, he's becoming Colonel Kurtz from Apocalypse Now at this point, running his own shadow regime.
No, Apocalypse Now was that episode with Changeling Martok.
Sorry, the
And he went all
1979 movie
went all
Apocalypse Now.
bendy and tried to strangle people. Well, if they don't trust him, what they could do is shoot him.
That's really what it is he, because Jake's not in Starfleet, he can't exercise any real control over him the way he does with everybody else.
He could try to pull the, do you know who my dad is? Actually, I think he does pull that.
He does get to that.
She's not a commander. Perrin. Well, that explains a lot. She is the manager. My God. What was the captain's name again? Was it Tim?
Tim Waters, yeah.
Taking his drugs.
He's got a drug problem.
I'm 90% sure that's just a. Oh, what are those called? Oh, the little sugar cylinders that are flavored.
Tic Tacs?
Tic Tac. I'm pretty sure that was just a Tic Tac container.
The little sugar cylinders.
I got to where we were going. You knew what I was talking about.
Yes, yes.
It's the strangest way I've ever heard Tic Tacs described, though.
How else are you supposed to describe them?
Fair point.
So he's so blinded
It's
by
exactly
the
what they are.
sparkly rink pips that he doesn't realize what's happening right in front of him.
And he only got to be lieutenant commander. Gross.
Well,
Why not
Geordi
just
was
make him an
lieutenant
admiral?
commander, right? Wasn't Geordi lieutenant commander for a
Yeah.
while?
Yeah.
As a chief engineer?
And then
And
Chief O'Brien
O'Brien
doesn't even have a rank.
Yeah, he's just chief petty officer. He's the same rank as Master Chief.
As the Master Chief.
Oh, that's what it is. When Master Chief takes off his helmet at the end of Halo 1, it's
Calamini.
O'Brien underneath.
I can see it.
I mean, after all the shit Keiko put him through, dealing with the Flood is a walk in the park. The Flood, the Covenant.
No, he made Naga lieutenant commander. I didn't look at the pips too closely, but when they're having their conversation in the ready room, he made him lieutenant commander. Which I don't think he's allowed to do. I think that's against the rules. Yeah, see, that's being passive aggressive about this is not the first officer thing to do. Just tell him to leave. If that's what you
Karen
want
in training. I want her and Kai Wynn locked in a shuttle for a bottle episode.
Oh my
And they're
god.
just-
What if
they're just
Kai Wynn was
trading
on the
little
runabout at the time?
snooty remarks.
No, they'd probably become friends and like start drinking mimosas or something.
There's Cadet Riley Aldrin Shepard. I don't remember his serial number, though, unfortunately. So go home. Yes, leave. Go home. There's a Vulcan here. Does that Vulcan think this is all logical? That this makes sense? Oh, and there's a Trill.
Gotta think about that symbiont.
Wonder how old that
I don't
Trill
think he has a
actually
symbiont.
is. That's right.
So the Vulcan cadet there, my headcanon is it's actually a sleeper Romulan, and they're just looking around like, oh, what did I get myself into?
Now, is that your headcanon, or is that just stealing ideas from the YouTube chat?
I'm not even in the YouTube chat. Why did they say that?
Yes.
Oh, I'm legitimately not in it.
Okay.
Yeah, tell it to the Cardassian judge, pal.
Uh,
What if, alternatively, instead of doing this dangerous attack run on a much larger, much more heavily armed ship, what if they just went home?
Yeah, just let the
They get us all
Federation know
killed.
this information.
They're not even going to transmit the scans before they die. The Federation's going to get no information from this.
Yeah, we'll send out an intrepid class or something to go deal with that. You guys come on home.
I mean, the Intrepid class can take on a full Borg cube, so they could probably take this Dominion warship.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go. Do you know who my father is?
Yep.
I think he used the wrong angle here.
Yeah, I don't love that shot.
I think you meant the angle in terms of dialogue.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't like the shot either.
Okay.
I mean, like,
I'm the Vulcan's
he
hair
used
is
the
in the way.
wrong. He
Yeah,
gave him.
it's framed weird.
He gave him an opportunity to retort with, yeah, we can do anything, and just he should have been like, he would never take a risk with everyone's life after he's completed his objective. Just
He could at least try to get them to send a message before they do it. You go like, all right, but
yeah.
what if we do fail? We need to make sure that we fulfill our mission. Cortifen stimulants. Yeah, this basically is the Hitler Youth. That's exactly what's happening.
Oh my god.
Gosh.
I mean, you're
Starfleet
right.
Hitler Youth.
Picard loves his tea. Janeway loves coffee, and he loves drugs.
Cortifen stimulants. What are cortifen stimulants? I assume it's just cocaine.
He said duty.
Nog was brought in really easily to this scheme. You can't have it put on his tombstone because you're gonna die too, Jake. What do you mean? Unless he's planning to steal an escape pod. That'd be a good idea, actually. Why is Riley Aldrin Shepard so happy about this? He just wants to point guns at journalists?
Use gun on reporter.
That's what he did. So it's kind of a heroic music montage. It's weird. It's not. The music is a lot different than what we usually get. It's a long montage, actually.
You gotta fill out
Yeah,
that
was
episode
all this necessary to show?
Great
I think it's
question.
done.
No, it wasn't.
But why are we about to engage the enemy? You know, speaking of looking at the walls, I noticed that unlike the Enterprise D, the Defiant, or the Valiant in this case, does not have upholstered walls. It's just metal. Well, it's
It's
plastic.
easier to wipe the blood off the bulkheads that way. You don't need to get the carpet shampooer out.
As because the Defiant and the Valiant are not practically cruise ships with missiles attached to them.
I mean, it's not like it would greatly affect the mass of the ship to put a little bit of carpet in on the walls. They have carpet on the floor, but they need carpeted walls as well. Really get that Starfleet feel.
Yeah, so when one of your ensigns are launched across the room by a console exploding, they won't crack their head open on the wall.
Exactly.
Just put a little cushioning on there.
They really need to be thinking ahead with this.
I mean, it'd be better if the consoles didn't explode at all, but that's, what's...
Clearly, you can't change that. That is, you need to have them do that.
It's not Star Trek if the consoles don't explode.
Right.
And what comes out of a console?
Rocks.
Honestly, that ship looks like the standard Dominion battleship, except it had too much to eat. It looks bloated. Wait, is the first officer also a tactical? No, you have to call him by his first name. Riley Aldrin Shepard. It's a bad idea. So I'm thinking of, remember that Voyager episode where the Doctor goes across the galaxy onto the USS Prometheus?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's intercepted at some point by 3 Starfleet ships, one of which is a Defiant class. That can't be the Valiant. Because the Valiant's gonna, it's having a rough time here.
I'm sure they made more than 2.
I wonder how many Defiant classes they made.
Quite a few, because, they're pretty much the only warship they've made.
Yeah. And aren't they designed to swarm something?
Just like they're designed for the Borg.
For the Borg, yeah. But didn't they run hot? They had some kind of engineering malfunction that.
Yeah, they had a major flaw and they weren't ready until Dominion came about.
I think the exact verbiage was, it nearly tore itself apart in engine tests.
Yeah, that's probably because of the integrated warp nacelles. Having to counteract all that ionization made.
Okay, so you're losing your shields. You're making one run. As soon as you hit it, maybe you should go to warp. Okay, now leave.
Look at that. CG Defiant.
Ooh.
It doesn't look terrible.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. How is that not dealing any damage to it? That's a big explosion. Maybe you should leave? Can you go to warp?
Yeah, now is when you retreat.
Just
Get the
leave.
fuck out of there.
Run away.
No, you get the hell out of there.
Yeah, don't spend any time talking here. Just go.
Oh, he's dead. Oh, no shrapnel in his jack. In his jack? What's a jack? No shrapnel in his neck. Just some lacerations.
It's where the neck meets the jacket.
No rocks
I
either.
see. Yeah, no rocks on him.
That's the prime difference between the Defiant class. They don't put rocks in their ceiling. They just put random steel girders and beams.
Oh, is Riley Aldrin Shepard about to die? No, first officer first. There goes Riley Aldrin Shepard.
Those exploding consoles just took out like 4 people.
Yep. Yeah, it's too late to run away.
That console is singed to all hell. Could you even read that?
It's over. I mean, they could try to ram it. That might work. Unless they don't have engines anymore. Wait, why is the computer saying to abandon ship? They didn't say that.
No,
Who ordered
punch
them to
something into
abandon
the
ship?
console.
Yeah, they pressed a button on the console. It's good
Okay.
enough.
Wow, look, all the main characters survived somehow.
Wow. The 2 main characters and the one that, we spent the most time with.
I like Nog comes in. We failed. It's like, yeah, no kidding.
It's the type of shield that never loses its train. The plot shield. Oh my god.
All right. Yes, destroy all the escape pods.
Pretty good explosion, man.
Oh my god.
I'm surprised they did that.
But don't worry, there's another.
No, destroy the last escape pod. What are they doing? They're letting them go. The escape pod doesn't even have a warp drive. Just blow it up. Or take it on board and interrogate them.
It's a reporter. Let him go.
They don't know that. Take them on board and interrogate them. And then you kill them. Actually, no, maybe you interrogate them and torture them and then you send them home to demoralize everyone else.
Yeah. Let the grown-ups take over.
Yep.
Worf, wrong as always.
Good job, Worf. If we listened to Worf, Jake and Nog would have died. Also the lunar schooner, but she doesn't exist anyway after this episode.
Oh, she resigns her fake commission. What'd you think, Jake? What did you maybe think?
Well, what
We'll
I'm
never know.
thinking is the Valiant was reported missing 8 months ago. They weren't able to find anyone else from the Valiant. Maybe Jake, Nog, and Lunar Lady are shapeshifters.
I feel like Warp 3.2, they would be like in the Federation's backyard. Someone would have found them.
Okay, Jake. Okay, Nog, what did we learn? What was the lesson?
I hope you learned something.
Don't go on suicide runs with a bunch of high school.
Pride cometh
graduates.
before the fall.
Yeah, the main lesson here is high schoolers are idiots.
I mean, technically
Yeah.
they're college students, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're
So
college
don't act
students.
like it.
At least high school students, but I think are college students.
Honestly, they look younger than most of the people I went to college with.
I think they did that on purpose just to visually imply the lack of experience.
Yeah.
I mean, keep in mind that most people graduate college around the age of 21 and 22, so they're still pretty young.
Yeah. People graduate from college, they're pretty young.
Yeah, but in the 90s, there was a terrible habit of casting 30-year-olds as like high schoolers in like Scream and so on. So
I mean, yes, but that's
Also, Buffy-
not just a thing that's happened in the '90s. There's still lots of actors who are older who are cast as younger roles because honestly, a lot of actors around that age are not very good.
mhm.
Also,
Um,
there are rules about
Go ahead.
teenagers.
Yeah, that too.
So, what's that character's name? Who is that?
Dorian something.
Collins.
Dorian
Gray.
Collins.
Picture of Dorian Gray.
I'm sorry, this came back.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, this came back from a birthday party. I'm on Netflix. What's the? I mean, I can see it right here, but what's
We're at the end of the
correct
episode.
timestamp?
The episode's over.
God.
44
Oh, is it? Oh,
minutes in,
okay.
so we got a
You
minute.
got-
Don't
You
worry
can
about the
watch the
timestamp because
credits.
the episode literally just ended.
I mean, there's still the credits. He can watch the
Okay.
credits if he wants, but
I caught the last two.
No, I'll just say now.
I
I
caught
don't like
the
to
last
watch
2
the
minutes of the
credits.
episode. Don't feel bad, Kevin.
Yeah, that's
Um,
all you need.
Something about he was a bad captain, and Nog was like preaching.
Oh,
She learned
yeah.
nothing.
Okay.
Okay, let me
She learned nothing.
double check what year this episode came out.
'98.
If Nog says he's a bad captain, he must be a bad captain.
It's May of '98. Yeah.
98. And Captain Waters was born in 73. 98 minus 73 is
He's like 6 years older than
25.
Jake.
He's 25 in this episode, the captain.
I was born in 1996.
It's not crazy. That's pretty much what I would have expected.
I'm 86. But yeah.
The first officer, however,
I'm 25.
is 17.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, they're actually young for their age, even.
They're young for their age? What does that mean?
Meaning they're not too bad, I guess. They're not
I
too
was
bad.
born in 1835.
17-year-olds don't go to college, so.
When I was born,
They can.
I was accompanied by Halley's Comet.
If I had graduated about 6 months earlier from high school, I would have gone into college as a 17-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., went to college at 14. There are exceptional people, but the age of college is 18 to 22, like I believe you were saying.
There's no
Oh yeah, I started college at 17.
there's
I
no
think
age
my sister
listed
went to
for Dorian, for
17.
Dorian's actress. But I'd assume she's around the same as the first officer. She looked like 18-ish. At any rate, they were all... I mean, Captain Waters probably could have graduated college at that point. Everyone else probably too young to be in any position of power on a starship.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think my sister started going to college at 18. 17 or 18.
What do we have that shows that being in Starfleet Academy is it a 4-year process, or do we know how long it takes to graduate from the academy?
Nog only took like 2 years, didn't he? But that's wartime, and they were rushing
Yeah,
people
they
out.
commissioned him. Yeah, they commissioned him early.
They commissioned him early, and then, but I mean, I don't think there's been like a set number of like how long you're in the academy, right? Like,
I'm sure it's been mentioned, but I don't know.
but I could see it, depending on what specialty you choose, that it could take a variety of different years. Like if you decide to go, like the medical route or the engineering route or whatever, you might have to be there for a longer period of time.
Okay, so according to Memory
using
Alpha,
our own education system as as an analog makes sense too.
according to Memory Alpha, the academy program typically lasted 4 years, though certain programs lasted 5, 6, or 8 years.
Okay, yeah, that was my theory as well.
I mean, that's fairly in line with our current college education.
Yes.
Yep. So even though some of these participants on the Valiant may have been in their 20s or younger, I think it tracks that they're all the right age group. I don't think they overcast their ages for this particular episode.
I was thinking they undercast.
Oh, like are they underage?
Yeah, I was thinking the actors are too young for their roles. Well, yeah, basically.
A few of them, maybe.
Well, they weren't, they hadn't graduated yet, so they were like in the middle. They were like 18, 19, right? Maybe they just look young to you now that you're older.
Now that I'm old and withered.
Yeah. Hmm.
Also, I'm still on Memory Alpha and I want to show something, but it's not here anymore because I clicked away for a second. But the picture, hang on. So there's a bunch of, all the way at the bottom, there's the links to other things, some of which are not Star Trek at all, so I don't see what the point is. But the picture for Wesley Crusher was the version that Riker Q made him. Adult Wesley with his square jaw.
The fucking
Looks
He-Man.
nothing like, looks nothing
Dolph
like Will Wheaton.
Lundgren. Will Wheaton just got a scruffy beard. That's all that happened to him.
Yeah, he's a little bit taller and a little bit wider, and he has a beard, and that's it.
I don't think he's any taller or wider. I think he's just he aged.
I've been trying to just click on links to try and see if that will appear again randomly, but no luck.
What does the actual Wesley Crusher page look like?
Let me go back and find it. Memory Alpha, Wesley Crusher. On the Wesley Crusher page, the first picture is him in Nemesis as Lieutenant Junior Grade. And
Which I
then
guess that's the
Baby
last time
Wesley.
we see him.
Yep. And then the first time we see him, Baby Wesley. And then, yeah, here's the picture I was using. That's the picture of the link. So this is apparently what he's supposed to look like at 25 years old. Yeah. Now, that man does not look 25 years old to me.
No, not at all.
He looks like 17 or 18.
William A. Wallace, that's the actor. Let's see. He was born in 1953.
William Wallace?
Yeah, his name is literally William Wallace.
Oh my god, he's Braveheart.
Freedom!
1987 was the episode.
Yeah, he would have been
1987 minus 1953.
They could take our lives, but they can never take our freedom.
We do have Wesley as a man, but literally, it's still the same age. (17 or 18).
Yeah, so actually, he doesn't look 25 years old, and that's because he's actually 34.
Yeah, I was going to say
in a rainbow sweater.
He looks like in his 30s.
Anyway, that's the last episode for today. There may or may not be watch-alongs next week. I'm not sure. I'll specify in the Discord when that's decided. We'll find out. Oh, but if we do watch next week, what are going to be the episodes? Okay, TNG Season 6. We're almost done with Season 6. It's going to be Descents Part 1 and 2. And then we're going to be into Season 7 for TNG. And it's going to be Liaisons and Interface.
Mm-hmm.
And then DS9 Season 6, the end of Season 6. Oh, we're not quite done with Season 6. We're doing Prophet and Lace, where Quark is surgically altered to be a woman.
Oh, yeah.
It has certain social implications these days, both written as a comedy.
Stay woke.
Times Orphan, where Molly O'Brien is an adult. And she's feral.
Yeah,
she's like a caveman Molly. Cave woman Molly, excuse me.
Jesus.
And the sound of her voice, which is tragic.
Cave woman Molly?
Yeah, I actually like the sound of her voice, but I hate the other two episodes.
Well, yeah. I think Times Orphan is good. It's kind of weird, but I think it's good.
Oh god, I hate that one more than Prophet and Lace, believe it or not.
Okay.
I think that's the last DS9 episode I ever watched, and it's been a little while. I feel like it was recently, but really it has been a little while.
All right, so that's it for today. We're done here. Be gone.
All All right.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Ooh.